Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboardkeepers. I am your host, the Ref, and we'll be right back in 30 seconds. Somebody's finally came to their senses.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Scoreboardkeepers. You're around here, we'll keep the seats. We keep the score. So if you want to get on the board, make your point. If it makes sense, we'll add it to the board. If it don't, we won't. Scoreboardkeepers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboardkeepers. I'm your host, the Ref, where I keep you up to score on everything sports, hip-hop, and hot topics. And finally, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you guys are going to be happy with this report today. According to my scouting report, somebody finally came to their senses and they must have heard one of our videos. I'm not sure who was watching or who was looking, but we spoke it and it has now come to fruition. So how did that happen all of a sudden? According to reports, Pittsburgh Steelers have activated wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling, MVS for short, from their practice roster squad to the active roster for their game on Sunday, December 7th, 2025, along with offensive tackle Dylan Cook. To help with the offense, okay? To help with the offensive line injuries, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, his first time on the main roster this season to help the wide receiving corps. This move allows him to play in the game against the Baltimore Ravens as the team looks to add veteran experience and depth, especially after adding veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers and other roster moves in the offseason. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell y'all something. I just want to tell you this, right? We've been talking about this forever, okay? Forever and a day. And this is no disrespect to any of the athletes out there on that squad. But Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin III are not number two receivers. They're not number two receivers. I'm sorry. They're not somebody you can put out there on the island and them just beat one-on-one coverage like that. They may be able to run by somebody, but I watched them on several occasions do things that they're not supposed to do when it comes to being able to get open for somebody like Aaron Rodgers, who has all the experience, who has all the information. He has a whole database up here. You understand what I'm saying? When you're playing with a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer, all the information that he has and all the routes that he's ever seen in his life. If this man checks out of something and you don't pick up on it and you don't run the wrong route, he's not going to blame anybody because you're young. So he'd rather say that, put this on me. I need to play better. I need to play better because he understands what's going to come down on young players and some may not be able to handle it. But these receivers, these two young receivers are slot guys. They're slot guys. I saw them running in and out of zones. And I seen them going across defensive back's face when they should be sitting in a zone waiting for the ball. I've seen them run routes where they're running right into the coverage. They're actually closing the gap for the defensive back. I've seen this. These are things that are not supposed to happen. This is where the ball gets turned over, is where interceptions occur. And these are things that you just cannot happen, especially this time of the year. But one of the worst things about this in total is that the coaches are just now recognizing it. Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been on the practice roster for a month or so. They had a few other players down there that a lot of people wasn't paying attention to. Isaiah Hodgkins was down there, and he got poached off of the practice roster by the New York Giants. So they had some big receivers down there. Brandon Johnson used to be down there, who's no longer with them. He's now with, I believe, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So while they were sitting around playing games with this big 3 tight end set, not being able to go downfield and hit any type of explosive plays, you got 3 tight ends lining up in the trips formation while everybody's just stacking the box because they know none of the tight ends that you have are fast enough to beat our coverage. Even if they do get by a guy, more than likely they won't be able to run the distance to score a touchdown. It may be a large gain. It may be a big gain, but it won't be the home run hit. So you're able to cheat up, stack the box, make it hell for your running game, and just put all types of pressure on the offense that you cannot handle. And God forbid if a team gets a lead, most fans that have been watching this Pittsburgh Steelers team know that once a team gets a lead and you're playing with that kind of offensive of weaponry, you're not going to be able to come back like that. You need home run hitters like right now. They would get the ball, be down by 3 scores, and you would think that they were the type of offense that they were running, you would think that they were up by 2 scores. So it made no sense to us. It made no sense to us. But let's just talk about something else. Let's talk about why these coaches, what took them so long in order for them to figure out that that this wasn't it. What was it? What took them so long to figure out that I need to have a receiver that can go that far? And mainly I'm talking about what took so long for them to elevate. For them to elevate MVS. MVS is a world champion. MVS caught balls from Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. So you know, when you think about what took them so long in order for them to come to this understanding that they needed to make this move, it's mind-boggling. It makes you question everything that's going on inside. Is there some home cooking going on? What was the deal? This is Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and I'm your host, the Ref, and I'm telling you right now that today, this man right here is going to help one DK Metcalf. This man right here is going to help one Pat Freiermuth. This man right here is going to help one Adam Thielen. Listen, guys, I'm just telling you, man. Sometimes you gotta question these coaches' philosophy and their understanding of the game. If you get paid millions of dollars, you get paid millions of dollars to do what? To do what? Everybody and their mama was waiting for this move right here. Everybody and their mama was waiting for this move right here. Like, it just did not make any sense. Now you have Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdes-Scantling to help out DK Metcalf. You still got all those wonderful tight ends. I don't know which tight end would benefit the most out of this. I mean, I just don't know. I would hold on to all of those players right now. I would hold on to everybody that you have right now, because now the only thing that you have to do is you have to find an offensive coordinator that can handle this kind of talent. That's it. That's it. I mean, who wants to go after these guys? Who can cover these guys now? And you got 3 tight ends that you can't go wrong with. You can't go wrong with any of these tight ends. Now, you put that in there with those receiving cores, and Baltimore Ravens are going to have a very serious problem this afternoon. Baltimore Ravens are going to have a problem this afternoon if they are running this offense the way it's supposed to be run. Because let me just tell you something. Let me just tell you this. Hold on 1 second. Let me just tell you this. First of all, let us just start here. Let us just start here. See, we don't like to, we don't want to just brag and say, like, be the ones that say we told you so, right? But, we have been known to call people out on things. And if you listen very closely, right? If you listen very closely, I need y'all to listen to this, okay? Because we have to go back because some people may never have heard us say what we say. But listen at us. Listen very in the damn game. And really, they can't. So we don't give two damn. So on the injury list. Who's not on the injury list? Pittsburgh media. I can't stand Pittsburgh media. These podcasts in Pittsburgh, every week they telling us who's on the injury list, who's not on the injury list. So-and-so's back. This and so-and-so's back. This and that's back. So we don't give two damns if they can't get a number 2 receiver in there and stop talking this Mason Rudolph nonsense out there and get somebody in the damn game. That's going to give DK Metcalf some type of relief. Going to give DK Metcalf some type of relief. That's going to give DK Metcalf some type of relief. Do y'all understand that? This is what we said back then. This is why Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Adam Thielen are them guys. But before they went out and got Adam Thielen, they added Adam Thielen to the roster, 53-man roster, before they elevated Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling played with Aaron Rodgers before. It makes you question everything that you know about football when you see things like this. It makes you question, are these guys, are they playing favoritism? Or do they really know what they're doing? Is anybody in there really qualified? Listen, I don't think anybody should be, I don't think anybody should just receive all the blame. But there has to be somebody in there that has the common sense to know that you haven't been throwing the ball downfield all season long, which causes all types of problems for the rest of your offense. You don't have an offense built to sustain leads. You don't have an offense that's able to come back from large margins and large deficits. You don't have that right now. With these guys, you now do, because you have some home run hitters that can strike immediately. So over here at the Scoreboard Keepers, we've been calling for this for a long time and nobody's been paying attention to it. But this is what we're saying right here, right now, that this right here, these moves can open up the floodgates for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm talking about to the point where they can run the table. Yeah. I'm telling you that this move, even elevating Asante Samuel Jr., I don't know what they were waiting for on that. But they have the talent on this team to be lethal. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you can thank me now or thank me later, because you heard it here first over here at the Scoreboard Keepers. I'm telling you right now that today the Baltimore Ravens are going to have their hands full with this team, offensively and defensively. God forbid what happens if they build some chemistry. This is why I question what was going on with that coaching staff, and then why would they wait so long for these type of moves? It was almost like they were trying to lose. Why would you not want to be that lethal? Why would you not want to incorporate these type of threats, downfield threats, with those tight ends that you have and your running game? I don't know what Arthur Smith has in his playbook. All I know is that the head coach is supposed to be the one to go tell him to change it. And matter of fact, go up in the booth and start calling these plays. Because you're supposed to be recognizing what defensive personnel is in the game so you can call the correct plays. You know, everybody's talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers right now because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, and he could be on the verge of having one. So It's going to be very interesting today to see how much they've adjusted from last week to now, because it took for them to get burned to realize a frying pan is hot. They had to get burned to the point now where they had a 4 or 5 game lead in the division. And now they're fighting just to make it in the playoffs and to win and to be in first place in their division with a team that was hurting early in the season, and they didn't take advantage of it. So it took for them to get burned to realize a frying pan is hot. And I mean, it cooked them. So no excuses. This is a move with Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdes-Scantling that should have been made weeks ago. They should have had somebody else in there weeks ago. Not wait until you spent all your bullets and you have no other choice but to do it because teams are disrespecting you so bad right there in your own house. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can thank me now or thank me later, all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there. You know, I'm your host, The Ref, and I'm telling you right now that this move right here, this move right here is going to be impactful. Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdes-Scantling with DK Metcalf, this is going to be a very, with Aaron Rodgers throwing on the ball, and then you got those tight ends, it is going to be very, very scary because now you're opening up the lanes for these tight ends as well. You're clearing it out for somebody like Darnell Washington to really catch balls now and get going. It can really, really, really get ugly. I need y'all to hear me what I'm telling y'all. I need y'all to share this video as well. I am the ref, and I'm telling you right now that these moves are going to open up that offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they won't look nothing like they have in the past or in these past few weeks. So you guys, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up this video. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. And we look forward to seeing all the games today, especially this one, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens, because it's a lot on the line. It's a lot on the line all over the league, but particularly this one, because it's going to have playoff implications and it's going to establish who's going to be in control of that division, because both teams have tough schedules heading down the final few games of the season. So I look forward to you guys getting down in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this. I'm your host, The Ref. I always keep you guys up to scoring everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. And I'm giving you another jewel and another gem right now that this team is about to explode, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm your host, The Ref. I will see you guys on the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. So until then, score. Finally, they made that move. It took them to get burned, but they made it. See you guys on the next episode. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, peace.